Don't make me get out of this van, Steve, because I will open up a can of whoop-ass on you. How are we doing, everybody? It's Kev Rashford, back for Vancam. Stop the waving, Kev. You'll scare the viewers off. We're back here on the biggest Man United fan channel in the land. This is the United Stand. It sure is. Thanks very much for on the last video. Loads of love, comments and everything. Make sure you keep up the interaction. Kev always has a look in the comment section after them. I'll respond to some of them. If they're, not up to my satisfactory taste, I won't respond to them. So stop with the lookalikes as well. You cheeky bastard. I've seen them. And just to put one conspiracy theory to bed, a lot of people are saying there's a lot of effort with green screens and that going into Vancam. Would you be able to do this? No, that's a window, yeah? There's no green screen effect. And on the high vis, look at this. There's blood, sweat and tears on this bad boy. It's not there just to make out as if I'm some kind of guy that drives a van, because that's... Well, anyway, we're here on Vancam. We got loads to get through. The United Stand have been nice enough to say, Kev, you've got another 10 minutes of your Vancams. Just crack on and do your thing, which I will try my best to do. So thank you, please. Anyway, we're going to be looking briefly back on the Wolves result. Manchester United going to Molineux and winning 4-3 in sensational, typical sort of Sir Alex Ferguson days of a result. The way Manchester United navigated and went about it. Obviously, this is the preview to Manchester United v West Ham at Old Trafford, so we'll be having a look at that. Marcus Rashford, there's so many questions. Onana, where do we start? We will start on that night, Thursday night, Wolves against Manchester United. And so there's so many positives to take. Now, don't get me wrong, at 3-3, I'm going mental, proper chicken oriental. I'm like, what? This team again, they've got to let us down. At 2-0, United are coasting and we're not clinical. We should be taking our chances. We could have been 4-5-0 up. The game could have been put to bed, and somehow we just allowed Wolves to come back into this game. We make some mistakes. Onana is another one that you look at and you think, could he have got a few of them? Onana is becoming a hot topic between Manchester United fans. So any comments you got, put in the comment section. But just on Onana, I did mention in the last video that I wouldn't have brought him straight back in. I said, listen, mate, this is what I would have said. Listen, mate, you made the decision to come out of retirement. You went and played for Cameroon in the African Cup of Nations. Bayinda is going to retain his place and stay in here, and you're going to have to fight him to get back into this team. There is an issue with Onana. There's no issue of him playing out from the back, but the basic fundamentals of keeping the ball out the net, which David De Gea was brilliant at, Onana seems to be failing. I mean, if you threw a football, I don't know. He's got like Poppadom wrists, hasn't he? In fact, he's not. Some of the goals he's conceded have been absolutely pathetic. But at the end of the day, Erik ten Hag has spent a lot of money on him, and he wants to get a system of playing out from the back. Then it is something to build on now, because we've the likes of Martinez coming back, who could be an injury doubt for Sunday's or today's game. Sorry. We have to look at that, and he will be a major blow if he wasn't to play. Now, Erik ten Hag has said in his press conference that it's not, it's not a severe injury. They put ice on the ankle, the foot, or whatever it was. Obviously, a lot of supporters were looking and thinking, oh my God, no, after the injury setback that he's had. But we've got that backbone to the team. And the midfield, I've always harped on it. If you can get the balance right in the midfield, Casemiro, why am I struggling with this again? Yeah, and Kobe Mainu. We'll just call him Casemiro, as I like to refer to him as. Mainu is now starting to shine even more than what he was previously, and this comes down to that combination in the middle of the park. And at times against Wolves, at times it seemed like United were playing a 4-1-4-1. And that's what it brings. It brings protection to the back four. And United ran riot. On another day, we could have scored loads. But that is the worry at the minute, is that Manchester United are not taking the chances. Obviously, the big talking point pre-match was the fact that Marcus Rashford was included in the squad after being in Belfast. Oh, tequila, it made me happy. Yeah, it made him happy. And then he was sad because he had to come back to Carrington, and Erik ten Hag's obviously opened up a kind of whoop-ass, and said, do you want to play for Man United? You need to take this serious and that. But what a way to respond. I've seen on social media, loads of United fans, including myself, I thought, this is a huge call. Erik ten Hag's almost putting all his faith in Marcus Rashford to do the business. Because if he would have dropped a stinker at Molineux, the vultures would have been circling around Old Trafford. It would have been on Ten Hag, and there would have been pressure on Rashford as well. But we've seen with player power how this seems to end at Old Trafford. They won't get rid of individual players and that. It seems to always be the manager, but maybe something is starting to change now at Manchester United, and the fact that Rashford has apologised, some people again are not buying it. But for me as a United fan, and probably as yourselves, of course we want a fully firing Marcus Rashford in the squad, because if he can bring goals to this Manchester United team that we've been struggling to do, prior to the Wolves game, I think Luton had scored just more goals than us, and it's absolutely pathetic. We really need a good run of games now from now until the end of the season. Our goal difference is -4. I'm just looking at a few statistics there. We played 22 games, won 11, drawn 2. We've lost 9 games this season. It's absolutely, it's madness. Other things to touch on was Rasmus Holand. Holand, my brother. Gotta stop doing that now. Apparently he's at Old Trafford today, Sean Millis. But Holand got his goal. You got your goal, brother, against Wolves, which was great to see, because again, in the previous game against Newport, he found himself in them positions, and the likes of Garnacho, they weren't looking for him. They weren't getting the head up. And then against Wolves, he gets himself into the right position. Lovely bit of play from Rashford. Plays in Luke Shaw. Bang. It's not the easiest, best goal in the world on the eye, but, it's effective. Come on, United. And that's what we did. Hoyland gets his goal, and he will continue. The press, I thought he started the press really well, and he set the tone for United. We panicked Wolves into lots and lots of mistakes, which was, it's just so refreshing to see. And you just hope. The one thing with this United team is they always let you down. They always will continue to let you down. You think of the great draw at Anfield. Nobody gave us a hope in hell of going to Anfield and getting anything. People were talking, it's gonna be another 7-0. It's gonna be 8. It's gonna be double. Well, no, it's not. You silly Scouse knobhead. It wasn't. It was 0-0. We frustrated them, and we shown that at least we had that unity and a bit of steel. But then we follow it up with a defeat. We then somehow beat Aston Villa, and you think, we're back again. Here we go. And then another defeat. So what I'm trying to say is, with Manchester United this season, it certainly has been 1 step forward, 2 steps back. So that result against Wolves will mean absolutely sod all if Manchester United now go out against West Ham and with what to get beat. I mean, even to draw, we are the home team. We should be setting the tone for these games. And under Sir Alex Ferguson, we always did it from the first minute. And Manchester United, I've seen glimpses of it, but we need to believe, from the offset, that we should be doing it in front of a home crowd. There is no more excuses, and there is no more excuses for Erik ten Hag. The team against Wolves on paper, for me, is the strongest possible 11 on paper that Erik ten Hag has got, that he's got. I was going to say at his service, just what he has got, yeah? Yeah. So, with that in mind, I mean, if we can keep these players fit, we know the squad's not great. When we're bringing on the likes of McTominay, it's not great. You look and think, seriously? Well, that's where we are at Manchester United at the minute. We know there is a rebuild on, and Erik ten Hag needs to add to the squad. This is, again, something that he alluded to in his manager's press conference, was that he wanted to bring in a striker. And we all knew that, but financial fair play, you look at the other clubs, there was hardly anything spent in comparison to last season. And that is because teams are now looking and going, well, why would we want to go and spend this money on a player now, that might propel us up the league? But if we can't adhere to financial fair play, then we've only got to look at Everton and what possibly might happen to Nottingham Forest, a points deduction. No, you're all right, mate. We'll just crack on with what we got. You know, and financial fair play has certainly put manners on a lot of teams. And United are not immune from that, regardless of the money that they generate. But West Ham will be a tough test. You know, their fans will come. They'll be singing about blowing bubbles and all that. What's all that about? I don't know. You know, they blow pretty bubbles into the air. Obviously, the Goblin is back, the Ginger Goblin, which is David Moyes. He'll be rocking up at Old Trafford. And, of course, he will want to get one over on the team or the club that sacked him. You know, didn't give him much time at Manchester United. It wasn't great, but they didn't give him time. And for that will give him added motivation to go out and do a job at Manchester United. A win would lift Manchester United above West Ham into 6th place. And then we can start looking at the Champions League places, because this is something that we now have to build on. Tottenham have had a bit of a wobble. Can Manchester United make the top 4? One for the comment section. Oh yeah, get in there and let me know your feelings. And in general, any other questions you've got, don't be mean, keep it clean, throw it in there. My time is up. I've got to go. Got to get back to work and do my day job. But I hope you enjoy the game, and hopefully Manchester United can do the business. Let's go on, not a title charge, just let's get on some run of form. Let's go out there, for Christ's sake, and let's start playing. We're over, what is it, half of the season, and we have not really played that well for 90 minutes. So it's time to go out there. It's time to do the business, boys. I'll be back at some stage on the United stand, but until then, for the boys against West Ham, it's a come on! United! Hey, yeah! Oh, yeah.